a payment request. But as the form doesn't know anything about a store,
it does now, so you don't have to worry
it
about
does. So
Yeah.
then I can just add it there.
Yeah, basically what I've done is in this PR, I've refactored a bunch of stuff, cleaned it up a bit as well. Let me see if I remember what I did.
I think form data didn't have a store ID or so.
It always had it, no, it did not.
Okay.
Oh, but that's because form data was not in the database before.
Okay.
And now there's an actual table with the database structure and everything. What I've added as well is for custom forms, you can say whether it's going to be available publicly or not public. What that means is if you have a point of sale app or payment request, you can select any of them that is not public as well. But if you create a form that's not associated with, for example, an app or whichever integration you want to use, and you just want to use it standalone, for example, instead of a payment button donation link, you can just use a form link straight away. And with that, you can just ask for a bunch of data, and then the form will generate an invoice at the end once you submit it, all independent from any of the apps or whatever. So it is kind of a drop-in replacement for payment buttons, but you can actually ask for data. You can even be smart in a way, and you can even do like an input that asks the user how much do you want to invoice the invoice amount to be generated, or which currency do you want to generate it. So you can actually do quite a bunch of magic like that. Yeah.
Basically, this replaces all use cases, and invoices can now be generated using forms, and we don't need the plugins anymore.
Well, I mean, we still need plugins, right? But yeah, I didn't do it all the way through. Like you can specify a currency, you can specify an amount, but let me check actually where it is somewhere. Yeah, you can specify an amount, and you can specify currency, and that's the only two properties that you can currently use in there to create an invoice with specific stuff. And the rest of the form data gets added to the metadata inside the invoice, so it just gets saved. We can probably expand this a bit more, but for now, I think it's good enough to get started.
Okay, does this cover now all the use cases that were excluded in 1.7?
I would imagine. What was excluded?
I think you integrated it for the payment request, but we left out the apps, I think. Didn't we?
No, there's something for
Crowdfund wasn't
for point of sale,
right?
Huh?
Crowdfund wasn't in there last time.
No, crowdfund was never enabled, and I haven't enabled yet for this one either, because the crowdfund UI is a bit different in how it works. Like it's all view in there, and then it has a Signal R connection to the backend, and then when you click donate, it actually pings it in the background, and then it retrieves the invoice ID, and then we show it in a modal, and we don't redirect or do any server redirection. So I'm not exactly certain how we will show it properly. Like
let's keep it like that then.
We can probably come up with something later, but we have to be smart about it because it works quite differently.
Okay, does it add the custom forms yet, or is it still working with just the generic ones?
It adds the custom forms in there as well.
Nice.
Yeah,
because someone was asking for that because they already wanted to do customization and
I mean, there is custom forms, but the UI to configure the form itself is just a big text box and JSON inside it with no documentation.
Yeah, nevertheless, as a first step, I think this will suffice, and they can figure it out, or we can help them.
Yeah, exactly. We can probably build some mini UI for this later on, like we did for the template editor in the point of sale and the crowdfund, because that's also just a YAML file that ended up with a small Vue application on top of it to make it usable for noobs.
Awesome. So is it good already to review? Because then I'd review it and also add the branding aspects.
Yeah, you can review it for sure. Everything is there. Maybe I'll add some more tests to it. But in general, everything should be working. I even made it so that because one of the main concerns Nicholas had was that the temp date, we use temp data to transfer between apps and stuff, and I removed all of that, and now we have redirections internally and all these kind of things. The URL as well does not change. So if you are in the point of sale app and you click on buy, it goes to the same point of sale /form, I think, and then from there it goes to the form. No, yeah, it does the form. Then you submit it, and then from there it creates the invoice, and then the invoice has a receipt or a redirect URL back to the point of sale.
Mhm.
So the context is kind of kept without having to make forms stateless in a way. I did that for both point of sale and for payment requests. It feels a bit better this way, because before it was kind of crazy with the temp data protection from my end, and then we ended up with all sorts of other stuff. There were quite a few bugs as well. Like for example, every time you went into a form, it would have validated on the first load, and everything would show like errors everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fixed that as well. So now it looks like you didn't screw up as soon as you enter the page.
All right. I'll review this later today or tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. So there's that. What else is there? State of the NFCPR. I don't know. I think it's okay. I don't know why the tests are failing. Oh shit! I'm on the wrong. Yeah. So I don't know why the tests are failing. I'll check it out again. Maybe it was something with the force push that I did the last rebase. So it should be handling everything. I even added support for top-up invoices in this. It's kind of primitive. All it does is if it's a top-up invoice, it will prompt you to enter the amount in sats beforehand so that it can generate the invoice of that amount of sats. We can probably improve that with an actual modal instead of the JavaScript prompt, but maybe another day. And I also did it so that the button is not so prominent if there's no NFC support. Now it's just a text link instead, because it feels weird to show pay by LN URL withdraw, and then you click it and it asks you in a prompt, enter your LN URL withdraw, and people are like, okay, but I thought I was adding NFC support. Why isn't it working?
Mm-hmm.
So now it just shows like a text instead.
Yeah, I think we can improve on these things once this is merged. So what you just talked about, it's mostly an UI issue, and yeah. As long as the technical stuff is done, this is enough for this PR.
Okay. Also in this PR, the BIP21 unified QR is also working with LN URL. It gets added in there. So if it will actually, if there's both Bolt 11 and LN URL available, it will prefer to use Bolt 11. Otherwise, switch over to using LN URL in the BIP21 URL.
Yeah.
So that should
nice.
be it.
Yeah, and I think it's already supported by Zeus and LB.
That's good. All right. Anything else to add to this?
No, I'll also give this another review. And I think we can merge it then, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
What's this? Oh, the GitHub Actions. I have to bug Nicholas about this, I think. Because he needs to add keys to the GitHub secrets and stuff like that.
Yeah, I thought he'd be here today, and I just saw that this still isn't merged, and it looks good.
Yeah, I use something similar for other stuff. I forgot which ones. Like my Nostar and my LNURL libraries, I just do the same thing. All I do is, so all you need to do to update these libraries is as soon as you put the version increment inside the CS proj and you commit, this GitHub action will detect it, check the NuGet repo if it has that version. If it doesn't, it will try and build it and publish it at the same time. And I also publish it to multiple places at the same time. So, for example, here, I publish it also to GitHub package registry. So you can actually just, if it's not available on, if you don't want to use nuget.org or, I don't know, you hate that place, you can just use GitHub directly to get the NuGet package.
Nice.
Yep. Cool.
All right. I also once more pinged him about it.
Okay. Anything else that's important for 1.8? I know when did we say we would do a feature freeze? Was it next week?
I don't think it's possible next week, but the one after should be good. So from my end, the high priority tasks are the two outstanding issues related to the point of sale. And I'll at least start with it this week and maybe also we'll finish it. Then we could do a feature freeze maybe end of next week. But there's still quite a lot of stuff that's not that high priority in the sprint. And I'll just work it down from whatever's in there once I'm done with the POS stuff.
Okay.
I also pinged Destruct and Path and Bars about the things that I'd still need as input. And as long as that gets delivered, I think those three tasks I was talking about can be done in this release as well.
Cool. What about plugin support for apps? Should I take that over?
If you have time to do that, I'd not intervene.
All right. Yeah.
I have it on my list for quite some time now and never managed to get to it.
I'll try and see how that fits in.
Nice.
From my end, I don't know what I have remaining. Nothing urgent, honestly. Right now, I'm just.
Can you switch to the roadmap so that we can take a look and see?
Where's the roadmap? Maybe it's in here. No, it's in the top one, right?
No,
it's in here.
Yeah. Okay, so the POS keypad view, that's what I'll get to next. I don't know what the state of Wootoo's PR is.
I doubt it will make it in time now.
Okay.
So we won't have time to review it otherwise. I mean, these are smaller things, right? So we can probably do something. I think we should split this up into two, if anything. Yeah. Anyway, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. NFC support is coming. Invoice filtering UI. I don't think we'll make it with this one.
Yeah, it looked like a bigger fish to fry to me.
Man, I had such a nice UI for this in the past. I had finished it all like 2-3 years ago. I don't know where it is now.
Yeah, dig up that PR or that branch.
Yeah, let me find it. Oh man, how the fuck do I find something that old? I think it was called Make Invoice Great Again or something. I don't know. Yes, Make Invoice List Great Again. Look at that beauty.
Wow, that's still using the classic UI. We'll revert everything to classic to ship this.
Anyway, I wonder why it got shut down. Oh, what
Are we
is
going to fix?
3512? Error 403 while issue refund as guest. We should hide the issue refund button, right?
Yeah, I think in the comments I explained what's the problem, and we didn't proceed with it because there are potentially two steps to it. The first one is
you made it.
Yes, of course.
Of course.
Sorry about that.
The first step and the low-hanging fruit would be to fix access to the button if you are not permitted to click it. But we always delayed that because we thought we might introduce this store manager role and would do the whole thing at once. But yeah,
No.
as you just said, this most likely won't happen in this sprint.
Let's just add the permission tag to it so that we can hide it easily. And then when we add the role manager or whatever, it would just enable that dynamically, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's just do that. I'll take it.
Okay. So we are going for the quick fix here. And I think for the role manager thing, there's also a separate issue.
Why is this not working? Okay, give it to me. Okay, there. Okay.
So this one might make it then.
Yes, at least to a more basic degree. I don't think we can have time to build a whole role manager, honestly. So, okay, so
depends on whether or not Nicholas is bored.
Yeah, I mean I still don't have clear idea on how to do it. Like it's tricky business, and the role need to be clearly defined.
Yeah,
let's
make it a separate thing.
Yeah. But we can always build, like, basically right now we have one role in the official ASP user system, right? We have admin, server admin. And then we have something in an unofficial system that handles store owner and store guest.
Yeah, so by default, the role system of .NET it's like instance level, so it's not like object level. So that's why we have difference.
Yeah. It's quite a bitch as well, though. And last I remembered when I worked on something with that.
Yeah, it's
But I think it supports policies directly in it as well.
Yeah, so it's tricky. I think we are kind of using policies as well on the UI part, and we kind of map them. But frankly, it's like code I wrote a long time ago, and I don't have everything in my mind. I know that the security model of ASP.NET is so complicated, so
yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So basically, the people just want a new role, say cashier, right? That is exactly like guest, but on top of this can issue refunds.
Potentially, because you also have to keep in mind if they want to issue refunds, like entirely, or should they only be able to create a payout that is awaiting approval. But sometimes you want them to be able to just go full on and just do the whole refund directly as well.
Yeah.
So
difficult to or we can say something easy that might help them is like just as a storage parameter, we say like guest can issue refunds, and guest can pay customer back.
So we already have this elaborate permission system. Wouldn't it be possible not to create generic roles, but have something like the API key permission system for people to assign to users?
Yeah, so right now we have basically a store owner and a store guests, and I think they're kind of hard coded in what they can do,
Yes.
like what policies they are allowed to do. We can just create those roles could be either configured on a server level or on a store level.
But what he's asking, I think, is can we reuse exactly the same system we are doing for API key?
Right.
Yeah.
But for UI user on the UI, I think
I'm doing something similar in LN Bank, and it works quite nicely.
All right, so we copy paste the code from LN Bank and
No, it's basically you would give users or admins the option to define custom roles or even not just define roles, but assign those permissions to users. We could think about how we want to do that, but I think this would work really well with what we already have.
So it's kind of difficult as well because sorry. Continue.
Yeah, but let's make this another topic.
Okay.
And let's say it's 1.9, not this release.
No, exactly. That's why I don't want to talk about it here.
All right, sounds good to me.
One more question I'd have towards Nicolas is what needs to be done for the add labels to addresses thing? Is this just a UI concern?
Yes.
Okay. So
it's the badge system, basically. It's a multi-badge editor system, I think, if that describes it okay. Basically, it's like you have a list of badges, and you can assign one or many, or unassign all of them to a UI element. Basically, it's like a drop-down, but it's multi-select, multi-remove, that kind of stuff.
And you need to
editing and creating a new one on the fly as well.
Basically, like when you label an issue on GitHub, but just for addresses in our case.
Yeah, I mean, it works not just for addresses. It also works on UTXOs and transactions.
The reason why I didn't look at it already is because I wasn't sure where the entrance point for that would be. Would it be a possibility that one of you comes up with the most simple UI for that so that I can just hook into it and make it nice?
Sure.
Yeah. I think Cooks have already started doing something on that.
Not quite.
Yeah, you told me that before I asked Cooks and he didn't know.
Shit, okay.
I'll take it on myself as well if I have time. But I would like it for 1.8 because it would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. So if you lay the foundation, I can certainly finish it up.
I'm wondering if I need to do it in like a whole Vue app though, because that would be heavy.
Yeah, as long as I know where to hook into that, I can then take care of it.
I'm just wondering if doing it in Vue would be too much, because if we're loading it for every line in every transaction, for example, or for every address that's shown or something like that, it might be crazy that when we end up with like 200 Vue applications.
I think we can have one application that gets the item the labels get assigned to. So we could have one application for the whole list because you'd be editing the labels only for one of those items at a time.
Yeah, let's I'll try and come up with something easy, something basic.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, what's next? I wanna Nicholas, we have a pull request on the BTCPay.lightning so that we can automate releasing on the packages. Can you take a look at it? Basically, what it does is, if you edit the CS project and you bump the version there and you commit,
Okay.
it will this will read the CS project. It will detect the new version. It will check with NuGet if it exists. If it doesn't, it will publish the new version, and then it will also tag it on
like
GitHub.
I don't know if it's a good idea for we can do now. Maybe we can do so. The tricky part in Lightning libraries is that they all depend on each other. So, for example, if like .common is updated, then normally you need to bump all the dependencies, like all the package basically. So it means that you will need to create like 10 tags.
Yeah, this should do it though, I think.
Well, yeah. In this case, we need I think as well to modify the push nuggets scripts, because like basically when
this publishes by itself though as well.
Yeah, but I mean, like imagine you change the .common, the .common package.
Yeah.
The problem is that you need to bump the version of all the package.
Okay.
And so you don't want to have to type, git tag for every of this,
Oh, but this is automated as well. It automates the tag commit as well.
I think this is just for building and publishing if there's a new tag, right?
What do you mean it automatically publish? Like I mean, you need to push a new. See, if you want to push a new version of package, you need to push a new tag, right?
Oh no, this one's different. All you have to do is change the CS proj. You update the version in the CS proj, and as soon as you commit, it will detect the new version, push a NuGet version, and also tag the commit on Git.
Okay.
With the right.
Okay. Should be fine. I take a look and merge it then.
I use this for some of my other packages, and it works pretty well, at least.
Okay.
What else is there to do? Yeah. Yeah. So I also wanted to see if you thought more about the plugin system for payment methods.
I didn't have time to look too much into it, but I think so. I think there will be lots of work to do on that, because like one of the big issue we have is that this like the network, the BTCPay network, as you know, is kind of coupled with payments.
Mm-hmm.
And theoretically, we want to have a situation where we have a payment method that are not related with crypto. So there is kind of like big refactoring to do. I didn't have time to look too much into it. I need to try and see how it goes.
How about we try it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I can try and. I remember I did a payment method once. Pull request at least that did like a manual payment method. Do you remember that one?
Yes.
That was. I mean, it was hacky, but it kind of worked.
Yeah, I would prefer we don't do hacky things because it will explode. But I take a look. I'll take a look if it's around.
It's a long time ago though. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, manual payment method, I think, or something like this. I remember. I will find it. And so and one of the reasons why I didn't have time to look too much into it is that while I wanted to do this, I stumbled on something I really want to do to make it easier to do things like migration later or stuff like this. Is in the database we have lots of blobs, and the blobs are like zipped.
Yeah.
Or zipped strings, and I want to put everything as a JSON object in the database. And I didn't want it to start like refactoring everything until this is done, because like it's kind of a heavy stuff.
Yeah.
And so is this? Oh, actually, it's still in draft. I didn't know. Actually, it's ready. We removed draft. I wanted to get it ready for review. I forgot about to put it ready for review. Is this one? Wait. Here. I send it on a GT. So there is this one, and another one that is more simple is this PR. So those two PR are kind of trying to convert all the blobs that are in binary right now into JSON that can be manipulated with Postgre. And I'd like to do that changes before like we start doing like changing stuff for the payment methods, basically.
How are we going to handle situations like, for example, if you have SQLite, you can't alter columns, right?
It's not a problem. So like for SQLite and for MySQL, like the column will be just text.
Mm-hmm.
We are not really using any JSON stuff yet right now in the source code. So it's not really important, but I think like right now I'm also working on like phasing out SQLite and MySQL, and I might find a way to easily migrate people on SQLite to Postgre. So like I saw that Raspberry Blitz and like Embassy OS or something like this, they are both using SQLite. So I think I will have to start developing as well on migration on that. So I will not worry too much about SQLite. I know that it works, but of course the columns are not JSON object. They are like text instead.
That's fine too. I mean,
so the thing I did is big hacky. So I created a new column called blob2, and the old row will still have blob1 that are binary objects. In theory, it's possible to move from one to the other. You know, we just have to select all the data in the rows, like deserializing it and re-putting it into blob2. It's possible, but it's pain in the ass, and if we do it, it's a different PR. Like the way I'm doing it right now, it's like trying the two column. Like if there is data in the blobs, then take it. If not, it use a blob2 column.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, fuck it at that point. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
Can we name it structured or something like that instead of blob2?
Well, we can. I don't know. Do you want to
better blob? We can name it data, I guess, because data is
JSON blob maybe. JSON
or something
blob.
like that.
Yeah. Okay. I like put a comment on that, so I think about it. So I change it. There is some renaming I want to do actually. On top of this.
So right now this is mostly a migration thing, right?
It's not even migration. It's like only for new rows, basically. I mean, there is a migration in the sense that we are adding columns. But that's it.
But it would start to become problematic with those remaining SQLite and MySQL implementations or users if we start indexing stuff in that column.
For them, the column is text.
Yeah, right. So, but I meant once we start to rely on potentially being able to access stuff that assumes structured data.
Yes, it won't be supported by SQLite. And one of the reasons I want everything in JSON-B is that once we do this, it becomes very easy to make like some reports for users. So basically, it's one query that fetch like the right data inside the JSON blobs, and like you can easily make a CSV export for users. So I think it will be useful later for reporting or like for everything that is accounting related or like I think it will be important later on. But yeah, the SQLite and MySQL won't have that.
What was the reason to have this blob data thing? Is it because it made migrating stuff easier?
Yeah, so like the thing is that every time you want to add a new data, you don't want to have a new migration or adding a new column. Like if you look at that, what there is inside the blob, there is so much data. Like it will not have been possible to put everything in columns, or like it will then make the schema very complicated. So I don't regret this part, but I regret the part where I just used like a
byte.
Zipped. Yeah, the byte. It was bad idea.
Okay.
Yeah,
switching to this approach is certainly a good idea because Postgres is really good at dealing with that JSONB stuff.
Yep. Like it will really unlock and same thing like sometimes like we had like some we wanted to do migration on these blobs, but we cannot do it easily because for migrating the blobs we need to fetch them with Entity Framework and then modify them. Well, but now if it's like JSON, we can do like one request in Postgre and then that's done. Like it's so much easy. So there is that as well.
All right. Is this something we intend to ship with 1.8?
I'd like to if you should just take a look just to make sure that you understand it and like maybe renaming some stuff. I think the code is kind of very simple. Like I use an interface, so like it's a kind of same interface between all the tables. So like there is not too much code repeat. I don't think it would change anything. Like there is more code, but actually there is more code. Most of those things is because of migrations, the migration script. Actually, there is no like most of the code is kind of straightforward.
All right.
There's also another thing I'd like really something. Oh, actually, you replied to it. I didn't see it. Another PR I wanted you guys to check. I see that you did a quick check on that, Denise. Is that there is a bunch of open redirects in your code. I think I got them all, but I might have missed some of them.
Yeah,
so check is good.
I looked into it earlier today, and one thing I wasn't sure about was in the notifications controller, but I checked this, and this is okay that it contains an open redirect because we have notifications that link out to GitHub for new releases, for instance, or blog explorers for transactions.
Okay. So I didn't touch this, I think.
Yeah, right. This was just something I came across when I looked into what are still open redirects, but this was the only thing I found.
I will take a look still that I didn't touch that because I didn't check. I think it should be fine, but yeah.
Yeah, it is fine. I checked that.
Okay. On my side, that's the only thing I think.
I have one pull. We have people asking about this. People are running into some bugs on NB Explorer. Somebody found an indexer issue as well.
It's the
voltage guy.
Voltage guy.
I don't know
what the fuck is going on. It's the first time I see this. I'm replying to him like if he just for test, I can take a look at it directly.
Cool. All right, and I have one pull request on NB Explorer as well. Just adding one more item to the whitelist of RPC. Just get mempool info on the whitelist for RPC.
Oh yeah. Okay. Why do you need it, by the way?
It's another thing for estimating fees around the coordinator stuff.
Okay. I do.
All right. I guess we have plenty of shit to destroy for a week or two.
Yep. NFC stuff. The NFC stuff. I saw that you did everything. It's ready. This one.
Yeah. It's I think it's ready. I don't remember now, but I think it's ready for now. And then Dennis is gonna try and figure out more stuff.
I think test don't seem to pass though.
Yeah, something is crashing on the test. I don't know why.
Maybe you should rebase because not long time ago I fixed something. So.
Yeah, I'll do a rebase.
And yeah, one thing I noticed in your PR as well, you're still using UI extension. I think it's fine for now, but maybe we can remove it.
No, let's keep stuff plugins, like actually plugins. It's nice.
But it's like, but I think the UX extension is just for the QR code, if I remember. Or I'm.
No, the UI extension is it adds.
Oh no, yeah, theme option. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Sorry. Okay, let's read it. Oh wait, NFC preview. I know. Well, yeah, I found it. No, never mind. Yeah, because I saw UI extension NFC/checkout end, but this is referring to a partial view of the plugin, right?
This is something plugins can hook into and extend it.
No, wait. My main question is this. Look at this code, like I sent on GC. Like the NFC checkout end. Where is the checkout end? It's inside the plugin or inside the checkout page?
That's inside the plugin. It's a
Okay,
plugin that loads inside the checkout.
Okay, so that's fine, I think. Okay. Okay,
Cool.
Nothing to do here except like fixing the test and making sure it works.
Sounds good. All right. So let me remember what I need to fix. I am going to add the permission to the issue refund for guests. And then I will also make the badge selector thingy. And then I will also make apps more pluginable. And what else did I say? I forgot what else I
think
said.
that's it.
That's it. Okay. That should be doable. All right. Sounds good.
To the coding cave.
To the coding cave.
But it looks like you want to showcase something.
Oh, yes. I'm trying to show you stuff as well at the same time. How BTCPay will now become a coordinator runner for Wasabi.
And imprison us all.
And then I generated a nice disclaimer through ChatGPT. Hopefully we don't go to prison. Yeah.
No stir. There is even no stir stuff.
Yeah, of course. What
did you do?
when you start running a coordinator, you can tell it to connect to a relay, and it will publish your URL for the coordinator. And then, as other BTCPay servers, you can click on this button, Discover Coordinators, and it will load a list of fresh Wabi-Sabi coordinators, and you can connect to all of them at the same time.
Crazy. You're fucking nuts. Oh my god. Good. I'm so happy with it plugin.
Yeah, I'm definitely testing the limits of how much I can hit the database.
I'm wondering at this point if it's BTCPay Server that is a plugin of your Wabi-Sabi plugin or like.
Basically, Nicholas just said that he's happy that he doesn't have to maintain our crap.
Oh yeah. Oh shit, yeah.
Oh man. All right. Let's maybe end it here for now. Yep. And let's break stuff in the cave. See you later.
Cool. Have a nice day. Cheers.
Cheers.
For too long, we've relied on trusted third parties to process digital payments. The world is changing, and so are your customers. As cash payments decrease, digital payments become the standard. But existing apps charge transaction fees and lack privacy. BTCPay is a Bitcoin payment platform. It gives control over your business back to you, helping people achieve financial freedom with donations, payments, and more. Help your family and onboard your friends. Use BTCPay to host multiple stores and become a payment platform of your own. While the world changes around you, stay in control of your finances. It's simple to use, censorship resistant, and completely free. This is more than a payment platform. It's transforming digital payments as fast as the world around us.